Hello people, Jon Sheppard Fitness here, and today we are going to talk about Gomad. And if you don't know what Gomad is, it is basically drinking a gallon of milk a day to give you 25 pounds of muscle. Yes, it's circulating again. I've heard of this for a long time. Obviously it's one of these silly fads that is out being published again, and I'm going to go through it and tell you if it's actually worth trying. Is it going to get you 25 pounds of muscle basically in 25 days, and who it's probably more suited to than others, because this is not a diet you should be doing if you're a certain body type. This is probably not the best actual diet for most body types. It's more for the people who are struggling to gain weight, you know, the youngsters who just can't put on enough weight. This is, in a way, a good way to actually gain weight, but there is quite a few downsides to this, and I'm going to go through it and tell you what I actually think. Is gaining 25 pounds of muscle actually achievable in not just 25 days but 25 years, you know? It's a weird one, but we're going to go through it, and I'm going to show you, actually go through the actual thing I found on the internet, what actually Gomad is about, you know, what actually gives you, what it's good for, and I'm going to go through and tell you what I actually think. I've gone on to basically Google and typed in Gomad diet, and it's came up with this website called Healthline, and it's just telling you the pros and cons of actually Gomad. So the overview is: drink a gallon of milk a day. Actually sounds like a regime and involves drinking a gallon of whole milk over a day. So it's talking about actually full fat milk, you know. So straight away I'm thinking that's a lot of fat content, you know. The diet isn't a weight loss plan. Obviously, it's a bulking strategy for weightlifters looking to add muscle mass in a short amount of time. So they're saying that basically drinking a gallon of milk is, you're going to be basically putting on muscle, and we all know that's not the case. You know, yes, you can put on muscle while building, you know, bulking, but it's not just eating and eating and eating and eating. You know, after eating so many calories, you actually tend to put on fat. So it's not looking good so far. So it's saying that this would take 8 weeks to do, and basically you would gain 25 pounds of muscle. What is a gallon of milk? 2,400 calories. 125 grams of fat, 187 grams of carbohydrates, and 123 grams of protein. Which, you know, honestly, that doesn't sound too bad, but you gotta think this is just from the drinking the milk, and they're saying you gotta eat 3 meals with this as well. But for me, 127 grams of fat from just the drinking the milk, plus whatever fat you're adding to your food, you know, you're going to be looking probably around 160 grams of fat in a day, you know. And milk is not good fats, you know, it's a lot of saturated fats in it, which I'll show you a bit later. It's saying that Gomad works and it's easy to help people who struggle to eat food, which obviously we all know. We do these bulk shakes and it's just easier to drink, you know, calories than it is to eat calories. You try and eat 3,000 calories and then try and drink 3,000 calories, you're going to drink them a lot easier, which obviously is true, but do you need to drink this much amount of milk for, you know, what you get? It's saying that basically what you would need to eat to get this amount of calories is eat 2 avocados, 3 cups of rice, 1 cup of mixed nuts, and 1.5 cups of chicken breast. Which, in all fairness, when you look at that, avocados are, I'm not a big fan of them, but they are quite easy to eat. 3 cups of rice, yes, but you think break them down into 3 to 4 meals, it's not that much. Mixed nuts are easy to eat, very easy, and a cup and a half of diced chicken. I've never heard of people put chicken in a cup, but that's probably about 200 grams maybe of chicken, which is nothing. You know, I know people I've had more than, you know, 3-4 times as much as that in a day. You know, so it's, you can, for 2,400 calories, that is what I would suggest around my maintenance, and mine's about 2,500. So I could live off just drinking a gallon of milk a day and I would be fine. But would it be good for my body? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It says basically you have to drink 16 cups of milk a day, and it seems more attractive. Right. The thing about this is it is for people who are struggling to gain weight. You know, people who are younger, who are very thin, and they want to gain a lot of weight, and they struggle to eat meals. You know, people who have been trying to bulk up and they just can't. If you don't know what you should be doing to bulk up, you should be just eating and eating and eating. You know, some people dirty bulk, which is basically eating anything to get up to them calories, but then obviously they're going to gain a lot more fat, which when they go down to cutting and trying to get shredded, it's going to take longer to get shredded. Other people do lean bulks, where they're adding a few hundred calories to their maintenance, so it's gradually building up a bit of weight over time. But on average, really, you shouldn't be building more than 0.5 to 1 pound of muscle probably every month, and that's if you're lucky. You know, it's, and this is natural. Of course, it depends on where you are in your stage of life. If you're younger, you've got more chance of building a lot more muscle quicker because you're either a newbie or because you're just younger. But when you're in your 30s, 40s, even gaining 0.5 muscle a month would be quite hard, you know. And even to say that you can build 25 pounds of muscle from just drinking milk, if this was the case, steroids would not even be around at all, because you can't even build that much muscle with steroids in a year. So it's a big bold statement, and I I just think it's just a con. Yeah, I'm not saying that don't drink milk, because milk is good for you and milk will help you gain muscle and also gain weight. But drinking the excess of a gallon a day, you know, it's gonna do a lot of damage to you inside. It is gonna give you a lot of great nutrients. Yes, it does. You know, you're gonna have overload in calcium, you know, and protein. It's great for protein, but you got to think of all the sugar content actually in milk as well. Unless you're getting it naturally from the cow's udder, you know, you're gonna have a lot of sugar, because milk contains sugar in there, and it's a lot of saturated fat. Personally, wouldn't really go for this diet at all. You know, I would probably go for maybe add it in something, you know, or maybe have a glass of milk with a meal, you know, to get that gains up. Food is always going to win all year round. You know, if you're struggling to eat food, why not just blend the food up instead? You know, if you really are struggling, you know, blend it up. There's also ways of making shakes with milk and adding other things, because you got to remember, if you're having 3 meals a day plus a gallon of milk, you're going to be missing out a lot of other food types which are good for you. You know, there is no mention of eating what you can eat with them meals, but you're probably going to have some meat and some sort of carbs in the meals you have, and it's you're not going to eat all the foods you want to eat. And if you are like me and you've drank a lot, I mean, drinking 2 or 3 liters of water a day is hard, and you're constantly going to the toilet. So God knows what it's like drinking a gallon of milk a day. Your bowels will be exploding 24/7, and I can't see your gut is going to be really liking it. Obviously, if you're lactose intolerant as well, you can't do this, so it's pointless. So it's one of them things that I think it's a gimmick. It's like Omad, where you're just eating one meal a day. Yes, it's great, you're eating one meal a day, but we all know our body can't intake all the protein in one meal. What happens when you have a meal in the day? What you're going to do for the rest of the day and work out? It's the same as this. You're going to be walking around, basically slushing around. There's be constant milk in your body all the time, and training will be terrible if you're just bloated. Milk, it says that you won't get bloated from this. It helps you with bloating. I don't believe that at all, because I think bloating comes from certain foods. For instance, protein shakes. I always feel bloated after a protein shake, and obviously milk is thicker than that. It's I don't know. Comment down below what you think about this. At the end of the actual summary, she says that the takeaway from this: adding a gallon of milk to your daily diet certainly addresses the calorie excess needed to gain weight and support muscle building. So they've actually started changing their mind. If one engages in muscle building physically activity, of course, but that doesn't make Gomad a good idea. While some of the weight will be put on of a result of Gomad will be muscle mass, a significant amount of fat will also be gained. Your body can't use that many calories all at once, so there will be leftovers which will be stored as fat. And that's what I'm trying to tell you about. When you eat so much in a meal, your body can't cope with it. It will go into certain areas. It will go into certain areas where obviously your proteins will go into so much, fats will go into so much, carbs will go into so much, and then if you do a workout, it will burn off so much. But the stuff that's left, if you've had a huge meal, will be stored as fat. So when you see these real big hard gainers that are eating like 4, 5, 6,000 calories a day, like the strong men even eating 10,000 calories, then they're burning off a lot of calories throughout the day, but it's still more calories than they need. But obviously they need it for the actual being strength. They need to get bigger, obviously, for their body weight to lift heavier, and most of them are overweight. And this would happen to you if you're eating 3-4 meals a day, plus doing a gallon of milk, whole milk as well. It's gonna get you fat. It's literally gonna get you fat. Yes, it's gonna put weight on, but unless you're gonna be doing tons of cardio while doing this, which I don't think you would be physically possible, because the amount of milk you're going through. I mean, 16 cups a day. That means you're basically going to be drinking a cup of milk every hour, because obviously the other hours left are going to be for sleep, and it's a lot. It is a lot. I mean, it's a bit over the top, but the milk is a good idea. I do understand why people have gone to this, because it's easy to do. And me myself, I do struggle to put on weight. When I'm bulking, I can maintain, I can cut easy, but bulking I do struggle with. And it is eating food. If you're a small body frame, trying to put on weight usually means you cannot put on weight easy, you know, because you're only used to small amounts of food. When you're taller and you're quite skinny, you've got a lot of timber, I would say, to put on weight. But then again, there's so much timber, it's hard to put on weight. You have to eat a lot more calories to fill them legs, you know, that long body of yours. And doing something like this would be good. But I suggest you wouldn't, because it's not really, I would say, feasible to do it. It's not something that a normal person would do. It's not something that I would do. It's not somebody who, I know somebody in the fitness industry who used to say, drink whole milk with protein shake. So do that instead. Get your protein shake, get your full fat milk, and every time, if you have 2 protein shakes a day, do it with full fat milk. That's going to give you a great amount of calories, and it's not going to exceed your, you know, your daily allowance in macros and in macros and, you know, your calories. So it's more feasible and you won't put on as much weight. Like I say, if you want to gain weight, you just got, it's a trial and error. If you're struggling to put on weight, then don't do any cardio. Cardio is going to burn off calories and it's going to stop you from bulking up. Only do your gym workouts and that's it. Test what you can eat and eat things you like. Don't just eat things because you see other people. Don't eat just a chicken and rice and piles of that, because you won't enjoy it and you'll stop eating it. You know, eating crap all day, yes, you will gain the calories and you will get bigger, but you'll get bigger in the wrong areas. You'll get a big belly, you'll end up being fat. What you need to do is you need to find out what your maintenance is, what you're basically eating a day, and you're not putting any weight on, and then just hire it up, maybe 200-300 calories, you know. And an easy way that I would suggest that I did was I made a shake. I'll put a link to the description in it, in the cards and below. That it's like a gain shake. It gains a lot of calories. It's got lots of good stuff in, and it basically is protein, milk, oats, a bit of oil, a bit of coconut oil, and peanut butter, and it gives you about 700 to 800 calories just for that serving. And you know, that is a great amount. It's got a lot of good stuff in, a lot of healthy fats, you know, it's got a lot of protein in it. It fills you up as well, and for me, that is 1/3 of my calories for the day. So it's something different instead of just drinking a lot of milk. I personally, if you're thinking about going the Gomad way, I wouldn't, because I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's healthy. It is healthy, but it's not healthy. You know, it's healthy for all the natural good things that come in milk, but also milk has got also a lot of bad things in it, like it contains sugar, and if you're drinking that amount, you're going to be drinking a lot of sugar as well. So that's going to end up storing as fat, and you know what, you're just going to end up getting bigger but getting fatter. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. If you have any comments about this, comment down below, and you know, have a discussion about it down in the comment section. But until next time, I'll see you again.